while we were working on clients' material, we just began to notice these things about the way language was used. We were actually the particular thing that hit us, and suddenly we woke up like the light bulb experience. We were working on a handbook for a sex education course. It was the teacher's manual for a course in sex education designed for high school students, and it was a perfectly straightforward text. It wasn't clinical. It was just the basis. The author's premise was that you respect the other person in a physical relationship, a sexual relationship, and everything follows from that. However, we noticed that the author, with perfectly good intention, was using language that he had been brought up to use. He used the pronoun he as an indefinite pronoun. And we realized that when you're writing about the two sexes and you use the pronoun he all the way through, you can't tell whether you're describing something that applies to men and women, boys and girls, or just to men and boys. And we thought that was a particularly serious problem. So we tried to rewrite for the publisher the parts that we felt needed clarification when talking about male sexual impulses or whatever. We used the pronoun he, and when talking about female sexual pronouns, sexual impulses, we used the pronoun she, and they took it very well. There were other concerns. We felt that some of the examples where a girl, they had little short stories, more or less, as part of this text, and usually boys were adventurous and aggressive and wanting to take chances. Girls were passive and reluctant, and girls were likely to be, passive and quiet and go along. We thought some of those should be rewritten, and we did rewrite some of them. And in some cases, the author and publisher took our suggestions, and in other cases, they didn't. But in the course of writing a long memo to justify the changes we had made, we woke up and realized we had to write more about this. We had to study it more, find out more about how it came about and what could be done about it. So we started writing some magazine articles. And the first one, actually, we sent to New York Magazine, which that was in 1970. The reason we sent it to New York was that there was a group of feminists on the staff, Gloria Steinem being one of them, and we thought, well, they'll be receptive. They were editors and writers, and we didn't hear anything for a while, but then we got a telephone call, and it was from someone at New York Magazine who said, "We are starting a new magazine. We're going to call it Ms. Do you know what that means?" And we said, yes, we'd heard the term. She said, well, it's going to come out in the spring, but we'd like to use your article in the first issue, which is going to appear as part of New York Magazine next month. And we said, by all means. And that was our first publication on this subject of language.